Again, let's look at the story. Okay, this particular zone, beautiful. The way you drew the support is always on the body, good. Resistance is, this is supposed to be on the body here. But without much ado, let's go ahead. Price broke, good. Came for retest, beautiful, beautiful. Like this, came for retest. Excuse me. Okay. If I want to take a sell, my sell, first sell would be around here, inside of here, with my stop loss here for price to keep going down. What did I see for me to take the sell? Watch closely. Watch closely. Price made a low, came back for retrace, retest. This support broke this bearish candle. This bearish candle broke this support. And if I enter my first trade here with my stop loss here, two things could happen. I would have lost this one because this price retraced deeper. So this would have been one loss, and it's inevitable. It happens. No one can avoid losses in trading. The only thing is that you reduce your exposure in it. How would I reduce exposure? Immediately I see how this bearish candle that opened here failed to price this. Let me zoom this. Let's do a little bit of analysis on this. Okay, let's let's zoom this. Let's zoom and let's look at this story here. Okay, what's the story I'm trying to tell here? Watch closely. This is my support, and I always told you, if you always go back and see all those things I've done before, this price broke down like this, and if I'm looking for sell, that means I'm tracing support. I'm always watching for price to break support. The same thing here. Price eventually broke support with this candle here. I'll be taking my sells below this candle. Now, I was triggered by this bullish candle. Two things can happen. Pay attention, please. The first thing is, I don't always put my entry on the very bottom wick. Remember, I've taught you this. I always give 2 pips below, stop loss 3 pips or 2 pips above. Now, if it was not triggered here, good for me. But if this was triggered and price closed bullish back inside of this range, where is the range? The range is this my support. Price closed bullish back inside. The next candle closed was bearish but failed to close below. This is a red flag for me because I expected this bearish candle to close below to give me an indication that price wants to continue what? Price wants to continue downwards. But because it closed above, it's a red flag for me. And this next candle even came and closed bullish. If I were in this trade with my one position, maybe around here I'd have closed 50. And if it comes down again, I enter again. That is how sometimes I manage positions. But on the other hand, sometimes I just leave it. If it wants to hit my stop loss, let it hit my stop loss. I'm not going to touch it. I believe what I have done. Now, let's say that I hit stop loss in this place because price came back. Eventually, price held for a while here, came back again, and eventually broke this low. This is support. If I'm to draw this support from this point, why am I drawing it from here? Because this is the last guy that took me on a, that introduced us to, this is the last support, this is the resistance, and price eventually broke the low. Okay, came for retest, and this bearish candle broke below. So I would have entered another sell here with my stop loss here. You see, just 10, just 2 seconds into looking this chart, I told you where I would have entered. Now, if you follow the story of which I explained just now, you discover that this is exactly where you would have entered the game. Now, this comes with practice. I wasn't born understanding this. I had to practice. I had to give my time to learn it. I've done my own learning. Now the ball is in your court. If you choose to learn, good. If you say you don't want to learn, good still. Somebody has to lose for other person to win. But I just pray or I wish you're not the one. Now this is where I'd have taken my sell with my stop loss here and anticipate price to go down. Price eventually continued going down. Now if my stop loss is here and my sell is here, by this point I'll be looking, this is where my one arrow would hit, or maybe somewhere around here. And if you look at this, we've already hit one arrow by this bearish candle coming down. But let's say this bearish candle did not give us one arrow. Definitely this one will give us our one arrow. This one. What do I do if I have this kind of setup? I will enter a sell here again with my stop loss here. And as you can see, I'll get one arrow somewhere around here. Now, this is my first position, which I will enter here with my stop loss here and my one arrow here. I will leave runner going down. Okay, enter another position, which is this. My first position is 1% of my account. I will enter another position here, which is 0.75%, which is three quarter of 1%. Okay, then enter another position here with my stop loss either here or here if I want to be conservative. At this point, I'm entering with 0.5%, which is half of my 1%. The question you ask me is, why am I entering with 0.5%? So that in case price turns negative, the 80% I close at 1 arrow will keep me in profit even if price comes up. And by the time it takes me out here, it will be taking me out just 0.5%. Even if this 0.5% comes up to take me out, by then my 80% still means I'm still in profit, because 80% of 1%, let's say if it is one lot you're using, 80% will be about, it depends on the number of pips, but let's just say $80, depend on the number of pips. Okay, let's just say $80. So 0.5% means that is three quarter of 1%. So if 80% on one lot is $80, if I lose 0.75%, I'm not actually losing $80. I'm going to lose about between $60 to $75. Okay, but it's not up to 75. Don't get me wrong. Point, because in this first part I use 1%. In the second part I use 7.5%, 0.75%. So let's say I have an orange that is divided into 4 equal parts. 7.5 is these 3 parts apart from this one. Okay, meaning if I close 80% at one lot, that means that I have $100 minus 80, meaning 20% will be what is running here, or $20. You know what? This is going into the next thing I will teach in the next module. So let me not go too deep into it. Let's concentrate on understanding the technical aspect. The one I'll teach you from next week is a different topic, which will help you when it comes to money management. But before going to that aspect, let's understand trade management, or let's understand technicalities in the market. Okay, so for technicalities, this is my entry, this is my stop loss, and my one arrow will be somewhere around here. Okay, another entry here, stop loss, and price keeps going. Another entry here, stop loss. At this point I'm using 0.25%. Okay, I will just keep following. I will just keep following. Another entry here, stop loss here, At this point, I'm using 0.125%, which is half of 0.25%. Okay, so 0.5 plus 0.25 will give me 0.75, and the three of this is equal to what? 1.5 lot. Okay, 1.5 lot. 0.75 plus 0.75 is 1.5. Now 1.5 plus 0.125 is 1.625. 1.625, which is a fraction of almost 2 lots. 1.625 means that I have an outstanding of 0.375 or 0.3, yeah, 0.375 in order to make these two lots. If you do 2 lots minus 1.625 lots, you're going to have 0.375 lots. But then again, you don't need to cram this mathematics. You don't need to memorize it. I built an Excel file that will calculate all this for you. It is going to calculate your stop loss depending on the lot size and the number of pips involved. So all these things I have done it for you, and as you practice it in the next module, you are going to understand it. By the way, I designed that Excel sheet myself. You can't find it anywhere. And I'm giving it to you because, well, you paid for it and I like giving my best. So it's up to you now to manage it or leave it anyhow. That's your business. So with that being said, um, this entry here, I'm having problem with this entry here. What's the problem I'm having with this entry? Your entry here and your stop loss is not the way I taught you. So next time, don't use this kind of entry. This is not how I taught you. If I thought you want to enter this trade, this is where you would have entered, and this is where your stop loss will be. How do you, this entry you're entering here, how would you know that price will turn here? How would you know? What if you entered here, you put your stop loss here, and price just kept going upwards? Then you have not followed the strategy I taught you, because I didn't teach you this strategy, Mr. Prince. I don't know where you got it from. So these are the three things I said I'm going to explain. Now the floor is open for questions.